Look around the globe today, and you'll see an incredible spectrum of human skin colors. While we often associate these shades with geography, our skin is actually a finely tuned biological sensor, calibrated over 1 million years of migration. To understand why we look the way we do, we have to go back roughly 1.2 million years. Our earliest ancestors in Africa were leaving the shaded protection of the forests and moving into intensely hot open grasslands. Survival in the open sun required running down prey without overheating. To make sweating possible, early hominids had to shed their heavy coats. This solved the heat problem, but it created a new physical crisis. For the first time, bare human skin was exposed to the full, punishing force of the sun's ultraviolet radiation. UV radiation strikes with enough energy to penetrate the skin's surface and reach the cellular level. Without fur to block these rays, they strike DNA strands directly, causing the structural damage that leads to lethal skin cancers. A hairless human in that environment wouldn't last long. Our ancestors had to evolve a biological suit of armor to replace the fur they lost. The body's answer was eumelanin. Instead of growing fur on the outside, human skin began building a dense, dark physical barrier within the skin cells themselves. This pigment functions as a microscopic shield. These dense clusters of eumelanin sit directly above the cell's nucleus, where they actively scatter and reflect UV rays before they can reach the DNA at the bottom. This shield made survival in the tropics possible. Because it offered the best protection against cancer, the first populations of Homo sapiens were all deeply pigmented and dark-skinned. It was a perfect defense, but it also meant human biology was now strictly calibrated for environments with extreme, direct sunlight. Around 100,000 BCE, humanity began to wander. Hunting groups pushed out of the African equator, migrating north into the regions of Europe and Asia. As they moved further from the equator, the environment changed. The direct sunlight they were used to was replaced by heavy cloud cover and a massive drop in available UV radiation. In these dim northern climates, the thick eumelanin shield worked too well. It was designed to block radiation, but in the north, it shut out the tiny amount of sunlight that humans actually need to survive. That's because UV light serves as the energy source for the body to produce vitamin D. Ultraviolet light hits the skin, producing vitamin D, which allows the body to absorb calcium and fortify the skeleton. Without enough sunlight, vitamin D crashed, calcium absorption stopped, and bones grew brittle and porous, a crisis of rickets and osteoporosis. Survival forced a biological trade-off. The body had to mutate a secondary, much weaker skin pigment that prioritized letting sunlight in over keeping it out. Evolution introduced pheomelanin. This lighter pigment acts as a chemical filter, allowing weak northern sunlight to penetrate deep enough to trigger vitamin D production and save the human frame. Modern skin color is the result of a continuous sliding ratio between eumelanin, the shield, and pheomelanin, the filter. Scientists map this using the Fitzpatrick scale. Type 1 represents skin dominated by light pheomelanin, sliding across to type 6, which is driven by dark eumelanin. Every human complexion is the physical result of this specific chemical ratio. This explains why moving to a new climate doesn't change your skin color. A dark-skinned person living in the north doesn't slowly turn white. Skin color is a polygenic trait. The melanin ratio is hard-coded into our DNA over thousands of generations. It is an ancestral blueprint that doesn't rewrite itself based on a change in location. India provides the ultimate proof of this. Because of the way different genetic groups have mixed over history, you find a wide range of tones coexisting in the exact same climate today. Ultimately, every human on Earth uses the same 2 pigments to stay alive. Because the biological differences we see are just different settings on a shared chemical dial, the traditional concept of race has no basis in our actual biology. Our skin is simply an ancient equation, engineered to balance the light of the sun, protect our DNA, and keep the species moving forward.